Welcome to Quicklit, where hyped books climb our TBR so fast, we drop absolutely everything to talk about them. I'm Karah.
I'm Sara.
And in today's episode, we're talking about the one, the only Quicksilver, the hyped of all hyped romantasy books, and a book that I nosedove into directly after my ACOTAR hangover. So definitely a banger. Sara just recently read Quicksilver. So we've both had the privilege of experiencing it now on audio and Kindle format. We're feeling ready and well educated to dish with you all today. Plus, Brimstone is only 3 months away. I don't know where the time went. We are prepped and ready to go. Today's episode will be a little bit different because this is a blockbuster romantasy read and we can't hold back all of the dishing. So tonight's episode, there will be no restraints. Consider this your spoiler warning. And make sure that you watch until the end. We've got another spinning wheel segment where we'll pick our next Quicklit book. And thank you so much to the listeners who submitted book recs. We'll see if your picks get chosen. This is always the really fun part. But for now, get cozy, settle in, and let's get into it.
Okay, so before we get into all of our Quicksilver thoughts and reactions, we're going to do a bit of a quick recap to refresh all of ours and your brains. So this is going to be full of spoilers. Heads up, you've been warned. Now, the story kicks off when Sara steals a gauntlet from a guard, and then she's imprisoned, but manages to fight her way out. And during the fight, pulls an ancient sword from the slumbering Quicksilver, waking it and freeing Daddy Kingfisher. She's brought into the Fey lands of Yavalia and named an alchemist, a rare and useful individual who can speak to the strange and powerful Quicksilver metal. This means she can open all of the Quicksilver portals between the Fey lands and make rings infused with Quicksilver magic to protect the warriors as they pass through these portals. And only Saris, with her ancient alchemical gift and bond to Quicksilver, can make these rings. These rings will provide resistance to magical forces like the corruption and soul-binding magic of the vampire army. Now, there's a whole wild history connected to these vampires, but long story short, the Fey warriors are protecting the river that is the only barrier to the Fey lands, where the vampire king Malcolm and his undead vampire Fey creatures are now living. Kingfisher was held captive by Malcolm due to a mistake Kingfisher made trying to protect his people, and he was trapped for about 100 years until little Saris set him free. The book focuses on Saris and her grumpy, irritable exchanges with Kingfisher. She's basically held captive until she can make thousands of Quicksilver-infused rings for Kingfisher's people without having any clue how to use this magical substance. Now, eventually, these enemies become lovers and things get hot. And Kingfisher is pretty much obsessed with little Osha, aka Saris, which we love, but he's still pretty grumpy and distant for like the greater part of the book. So Kingfisher, who likes himself a little Osha, aka Most Sacred, aka Saris. The tension in this book, my lord, Karah.
Absolutely top tier.
Our boy Kingfisher likes himself a little teeth play, blood play, and he really likes to be in charge. Now back to the plot for the second.
We have to go back to the plot.
We have so much to talk about. We're definitely going to be circling back to Kingfisher. After Carrion is accidentally brought back from Zul'Varen, Saris learns how to talk to the Quicksilver and make imbued magical weapons. She has the best orgasm of her life, leading to some pretty cool magical markings, which she eventually realizes are mate markings, and are very special ones that haven't been seen in hundreds of years, ones blessed by the gods. Kingfisher goes after the vampire King Malcolm, and when he takes their dear friend Everlane, and Kingfisher almost sacrifices himself again, but Saris, Carrion, and Wren come to his rescue. At this point, it's revealed that Queen Madra of the Mortal Lands, the vampire King Malcolm, and the Prince of the Feyland, Taladeus, are all working together and have a blood bond / curse kind of situation, which means none of them can be killed unless they're all killed, which is a huge bummer at this point of the book because we really feel like we're getting somewhere. Carrion lures Malcolm into a trap to bite him, and it's revealed that Carrion is actually Fey. Carrion, Dianathus of the Fey bloodline. His blood carries ancient pure magic, which is toxic to undead beings like Malcolm. Certain ancestral Fey lines are protected from being fed upon, enslaved, or corrupted by darker magic such as Carrion's. So drinking pure Fae royal blood is like injecting acid into a rotting system. Malcolm is super pissed, and his plot is officially foiled. It turns out at this point that Kingfisher was trapped for 100 years because he fell victim to a sneaky Fae trick that relied on a coin flip that never hit the ground. This left him in a bargain purgatory for all of that time, trapped in Malcolm's labyrinth searching for the coin. And if he could only find it and place it on the ground, he would be free. Sara takes it upon herself to track down this coin and set Kingfisher free for once and for all. She manages to do it by speaking to the Quicksilver in the coin, but not fast enough. Malcolm finds her and tears out her organs, but she manages to drop the coin and end him. Sara is in pretty bad shape though, and the only way to save her is for Taladeus to bite her, turning her into a half-fae, half-vampire hybrid, halting her death spiral. While she's spiraling to her death, she follows the Quicksilver voices to a dreamlike world where she speaks with Zareth, the god of chaos, and he tells her that the mating bond between her and Kingfisher has the potential to bring about cataclysmic change or to save the world. So it seems like they're both very important pawns in a larger story. Sara recovers from this ordeal and learns some interesting information. First, that Quicksilver isn't the only element that alchemists can channel. There are others, such as Brimstone, and that by killing Malcolm, Sara has unknowingly named herself Queen of the Vampires. And that is where our story ends.
Wild.
What a journey. Does it bring it all back, Karah?
It does bring it all back. The audiobook definitely helped. I definitely needed a refresher on this book. Like going back into it, I forgot basically everything except for, the spicy parts. The spicy parts can't really, those are deeply rooted in my head. But yeah, wow. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I cannot wait for Brimstone.
Yeah. It's getting close. Like we're at the end of July here. So it's not
we have 40 books to cover too. So based on all of the hype, I kind of ran right to this book and told you I loved it. What were your expectations or perceptions going in, and what was your actual experience reading the book like?
My perception was that I didn't think it was going to be very good. That's the truth. Aside from I know you were obsessed with it, but I think there was a vibe it was like ACOTAR, which then made me think, well, it's not. And I knew you said it's not, but it was being hyped kind of to a similar level. Mm-hmm. And I always get a little nervous when I see people really hyping almost anything. The reason why is because I feel then I put it on a pedestal and the likelihood of being disappointed by it is so much higher. So I'm really glad I waited, because I think if I had read it around when you did, especially after hearing all the other things that came after you read it, mm-hmm. I think that I would have been I don't get it. Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, we've been burned before. We've been burned by other books that are supposed to be up in the rankings of ACOTAR, and we're sorely disappointed by those books. So I totally get it. I feel when I went into it originally, I was just what is this genre? What is this brand new genre? Give it all to me. And I thought it was a total banger to come off of ACOTAR on. I don't know that anything could be as epic as ACOTAR. Remains to be seen with Brimstone and where this series goes, but I definitely felt it was a banger right off the bat.
Yeah, I think I get why you loved it, and it fed that craving you had, because when we were in that ACOTAR moment and you're giving up on eating and sleep and all these things, I get how this book really sucks you in really quickly. I think doing the immersive read experience for me gave me that, because it was a whole new experience, and I was just coming off of getting married, and I had just read The Sword of Kaigan, which is literally on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's a dense fantasy, and I was trying to read Heavenly Bodies and struggling to get into it. And then I had the audiobook hours, and I had you and people tell me that the book was really good, but then I had these other people in the bowels of our Instagram account being but you have to listen to the audio, as if it would be a sin to read it. So I was okay, there's something going on here. And that made it really fun, because when my brain was literally shot from the exhaustion of the wedding, it's like the closest thing I've ever experienced to watching TV was doing the Kindle and the Spotify. So that I think made the experience for me.
That is so cool. I really want to try that now because sometimes I'm just not in the mood to just listen or to just, yeah, listen to a book. Like my brain goes elsewhere. And so sometimes I really need to just like sit and read. But like the two of them at the same time, the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn graphic audios are like mind blowing, incredible, like
Okay.
so good. And that would be a fun immersive read. I think that would be really cool.
One of the perks of the immersive read is you're like sitting in bed with your Kindle and your little earbuds, and your like hubby comes and they start talking to you, and you're like, and they're like, oh, like they know you're in it and you got to pause. So it becomes a real disruptive thing if they just try to interrupt a scene
Like, no, just
and
leave
they
me
don't.
be. Just leave me be, babe.
There's
When you're in like the throes of like a serious chapter and they like keep piping up every, and I bet you Jason's like this too, because Alex is, I think they're kind of similar in that way. Just like say a little remark here or there, and it's like, why are you speaking to me right now? Like, can you not see that I'm busy?
I get told all the time that like it would feel rude to walk into a room and not say anything. And I'm like, like I'm not that fragile. Also, like Kingfisher is in my ear.
No truer words have ever been spoken on the matter.
I'd take this up with Kingfisher if you have something important to say.
I did make my husband listen to it on the way to camping.
Did you?
Yes, and he liked it.
That Not in Love book by Allie Hazelwood. I was like, should I try to get Jason to read? I'm like, is it weird if there's like a big, like beefy guy in my ear? And I'm like, listen to this. Like, you know what I mean? Are you going to like it? Or are you going to be like, this is so fucking weird, Sarah. Why are you making me listen to this guy? Is it like wrong or is it right? I don't know. So you have been pretty tight lipped about Quicksilver for pushing on like a year now, which like we all just need to have a moment of applause for Karah, because like Karah just like loves to talk about things she loves. So I just know that she's been restraining herself so that she doesn't ruin this book for me, and maybe quietly every couple months being like, but like maybe you should read it. Like, just will you read it? Read it. Let's read it.
Literally. And you're right. Like I'm the queen of spoilers, like big mouth. Definitely got a big mouth. But I did so good with this one. All right. So here's my vibe. Here's my thing. I loved it, obviously. Like I loved it. Coming off of ACOTAR, I was like, whatever drug is in this book, give me more of that immediately. And this book did not disappoint. There have been books since then that I think have slapped way harder, like Carrie Lake being one of my favorite authors at this point. She slaps. Like, I don't think it could get better than that. I did find at the very end of Quicksilver, there were things that, and I say this, I feel like I'm becoming a broken record, and it's probably because of Carrie Lake, but she didn't give me enough in the beginning to be really excited about the end. Like, I think if there were more breadcrumbs, like more little like airs of mystery and things to be wondering about, it would have felt like the wow factor would have been there. But I felt like the whole part with like Belkion, Malcolm and Madra, and like the ending and like the chasing was like so abrupt. Like it did feel like almost like a whole other book than what we were, which was cool. Like I liked it. It was just like, you could have like warmed us up to this. That was like my one thing.
Yeah.
And like so much felt like it was happening at the very end that it was like, I almost felt like the characters were cartoonized.
There was, for me, it was like this kind of weird comedic thing that was going on, specifically with her, where it was like her kind of like jabby, like sarcastic aspect. It would throw me off sometimes. I'm like, why is this book reading? Like, there's all this shit going on over here, you know?
To your point, I know you talk about this a lot, like the first book and like how like there's like some primer and like they're setting the stage and building the foundation. And then, you know, the last 100 pages, they typically do pop off. But like that felt so disjointed. I would have liked it to like bring me along a bit further with it.
Yeah.
You know, like give me hints that like Madra and Malcolm might be like maybe they wore like the same brooch or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like things to keep me like guessing and excited. And so when the prophecy or like when like the backstabbing occurs, it's like, oh shit, like this is sick, how it all comes together. That was my only thing, but it didn't stop me from enjoying it. I think now just looking back, I'm like, having read so many more romantasy books and like different themes throughout these books cross over, there's similarities in how books are written. I think that could have been better. And I'm hoping for better in Brimstone. Like I'm hoping that, we got this crazy shit like laid out on the plate for us. Now we're going to build on it in Brimstone. At least I'm hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I almost would be happier if it was only one book. Like, I am kind of nervous about the next book. We shared all our thoughts and feelings on Heavenly Bodies. And ironically, I do think that Quicksilver has quite a few similarities to Heavenly Bodies. It's just that the things we needed to landed in Quicksilver. And so it makes me more forgiving because I know what box to put this book in. It's like, it's not in high fantasy. It's not in even like top tier romantasy for me. It's like a bingeable TV show in a book form. And especially you throw the audiobook on, it's like a very fun experience. But I do kind of worry, even just with some of the additional content that was released. I haven't heard the audiobook. There's like POV chapters from Kingfisher.
Okay. I haven't heard them either.
Yeah, I think they're only on Audible right now, but she released the chapters on her website and I was like reading one of them and the first one is like the story of the gate, like where he basically gets captured the first time by Malcolm. And I was like bored. Like I was like, I don't need to know this. And I guess that's why it's like additional content. But I don't know. I'm like, every book doesn't have to be a series. If it's a duology, I'll be happy, but I don't know how many books it's supposed to be.
Yeah, see, for me, I have a really hard time once the yearning is gone. I really want Carrion to have more of a part because, like, I also fell in love with him as well. Like, I fucking loved him. I was like, could she keep both? Like, we like both. So, yeah, if she can, like, shift it or, like, give him his own thing, I would love that.
Yeah, Saris is not my favorite character, period. Like Sara, I like this book in spite of her. I really didn't like the audiobook experience of her and was like waiting, like when Kingfisher would show up, or even there's like, I think it's all Anthony Palmini doing all the voices, but he does like an Irish voice, I think. And like, so like all that, I loved all of that. But then her, I'm like, ugh, like, I don't like your voice and I don't like all the annoying things you have to say all the time. So I would like it if, yeah, we took a little like left turn and Carry-On met someone else would be fun.
I would be so into it. Yeah, pull like a Court of Silver Flames vibe on me, and I would eat that shit up. 100%.
Yeah. Although I did think the like make her into a vampire queen was really badass, but then like I want her to be a badass and not like a whiny teenager. Let's bring the people in on our audio experience. The audio experience was like clearly a big part of both of our experience, at least like time around. So we feel like we have to share a little bit of that joy with you all. So we're going to do a little bit of like some snippets from the audiobook and we're going to react in real time.
Let's do it. Okay. Okay, let's see if this works. I don't know what part it's on, so we'll just see here.
He snarled the guttural curse into the crook of my neck, at the same time driving his hips upwards so that I felt God. His cock was trapped between our bodies and he was so fucking hard.
I'm fucking sweating after that. Oh, it's just Anthony Palmini. Like, his voice is, like, I think he's by far my favorite so far.
And he's versatile. Like, I was like, wait, that's Rhysand?
Right.
It's not the same. He really delivers Kingfisher.
Very much so. It was a deliverance for me. Like, I think it was probably more fun reading it the second time around, the audiobook style. I think like it was easy to read again. I don't know that I'm the type of person that would reread a book. Maybe like a self-help book, but I don't know if I would reread a story again.
So how would you describe your experience, like comparing reading it like on Kindle only the first time and then audio?
I loved it both times. I think I was just in a totally different headspace when I read it the first time to now. I think knowing the story, I felt like it could be a little bit more fun just listening to it on the audio. Sometimes when I do fantasy books audio, I feel like I have to sit there and close my eyes and focus on absolutely everything or else I'll miss something.
Yeah.
Which is why I prefer to read them via Kindle. But because I had already listened to this book, like I knew what was going to happen, I was like, I'm good. Like I can just have fun with this and like take in like this lovely man's voice. So I think it was just like a more fun, lighthearted way. And it kept me interested. Like I think that is the only way that I would probably reread a book now is like, let's read it first on paper or on my Kindle and then listen to the audiobook. I think it's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Or the immersive read. I think you should give it a try. Like I would for sure, like I would do that with Anathema. I would do an immersive read on it. I've heard Anathema is really good on audiobook too. But the other thing is that doing the immersive read, I was listening to the audiobook at probably like double the speed that I usually would.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, everything is there in your ears and in your eyeballs. So like, I just feel like if you were going to reread a book, you don't feel like you're sacrificing all this time because you can actually push through it a little quicker too, which is kind of nice.
So today we're going to do a new fun segment called For the Record, where we're going to be shining a light on people's hurt feelings and very upsetting Quicksilver experiences just for our sheer entertainment and heartbreak. We respect everyone's opinions. We know that different strokes for different folks, but we will now be entertained by them and likely disagree. So I am pumped on this, Sarah. I can't wait to hear what reviews you dug up that are gut-wrenching. So why don't you start and share the reviews?
We're going to go anonymous reviews because we're not going to fully like blast anyone.
Yeah, we don't want to call people out. We're not canceling anyone.
No, and honestly, like, I don't fully disagree with a lot of people's feelings on it. Like, I get why people were bothered by it. Again, I do think this is a book where like misguided expectations will definitely throw you on the wrong course here. Let's just start with some honesty, okay?
All right.
Absolute garbage. Not a single original aspect, just a pile of tropes pathetically laced with smut.
Oh my god, I literally kept that. I fucking saved that one too. Okay, so the smut wasn't pathetic. The smut was
Pathetically laced with smut. It was a pile of tropes pathetically laced with smut. It's the tropes I think that they're upset about.
Yeah.
That's like a half a star. This was a DNF. The FMC was an unbearable, petulant dumbass.
I fucking love that. Poor Sarah's.
Again, I'm like, kind of. Like, she was kind of shitty. But
she was a little dumb. She was a dumbass.
This one is interesting. I hated this so much. It would have been such an amazing story if it was written in the first person. Never have I reviewed a book this low, but it was necessary. The writing was awful and the FMC was so obnoxious. Nobody needs to know just how poor you are every 6 sentences.
Oh my god.
Like, also, there are some grains of truth in that review.
Literally. I was getting sick and tired of her talking about water after like the first few pages, being like, oh, the water, I can have it here. It's like, you're in the fairy realm, bitch. Like,
there was a comment on one of the reviews that was like, someone explained to me the situation with this water and how they are like drinking whiskey every 5 seconds.
Okay, this one got me. This is a long one, so I won't read the whole thing, but this is terrible. There's no way anyone with a developed prefrontal cortex can enjoy this unless you're into dumb dialogues and even dumber MCs. Don't get me wrong, the start is great. The idea and the world in which this is set is actually quite interesting, but as with many books in this genre, our independent, self-sufficient, and strong FMC turns into a useless, horny buffoon when she meets her eventual love interest. Here's the thing. There's something about this, and I think you hit the nail on the head. There's something about Quicksilver that it just lands. Like, it just works. Whereas I think some of the other books that we've read that have felt overhyped and viral in this category that we didn't like, maybe we're missing something. Like, because what I did find was a trend through a lot of the reviews that I was reading was people saying similar things that we felt towards Heavenly Bodies.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like, maybe we're missing something. Like, maybe that just didn't land for us and this did. Like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
I think there is that. Maybe if I had read the book and not had the audiobook experience, like, would I have felt differently? I don't know, especially at this point. Again, when it was like your second romantasy book, basically, it's like, I totally get why that was like, I want more of this thing that I've just found. And I'm not saying that it isn't an entertaining book, but I just wonder because the audiobook experience sold me on the dynamic because of how he's delivered.
Right.
And like, I'm in it for him. I'm not in it for her. Like, I don't care about her. But I wasn't into Enzo in Heavenly Bodies. I was like, this.
Yeah. The banter wasn't bantering for me, but like anything that Kingfisher said or did, like I loved it. I fucking I eat him up. Like I would eat him with a spoon.
Yes.
Obsessed.
He's like witty. I think that's the thing is the dynamic between them is like she is petulant and annoying and he's like always a step ahead of her, but he's confident. And so there's this like very interesting play between them. It's very cat and mouse where I felt like in Heavenly Bodies, it was just like two harsh people being combative and then soft and then like
you put You put it really well. Like, it really did just work between the two of them. Like, I really loved, like, you could cut the tension with a knife. Like, it was beautiful. Okay, so I have one more, and I won't get into the whole thing, but what I thought was interesting, and I must have missed this. This person said, I'm genuinely interested after seeing so many positive posts about Quicksilver, what people like about it. The most irritating part was when Kingfisher says he'll give Saris the cliff notes later. And I'm like, wait, what? Cliff notes? Like that's like that would take me out of it if I heard that. Like I don't know if I would have liked that either. But I don't remember where that is.
No, I don't remember that, but I do remember people saying that something about like this usage of slang, like taking. And I get that. I get why people feel that way for sure. A couple one-liners from some of these. I just can't listen to any more of these two talking about being in heat, banging each other, sharp canines, and smelling your arousal, barf, etc., etc. Can you hear my eyes rolling yet? I get that some people want to read the same book over and over again, but that's not me.
Wow.
That killed me.
Whatever. I don't care what people think. You guys are wrong.
Through hate comes creativity. And we are getting the most creative versions of people in their reviews right now. And I am like eating it up. Like I take zero offense. And I actually really enjoy relating to these people in their angriest moments.
Do you remember when I reviewed, what was it? The Bargainer? The Bargainer. That was a moment of weakness. Let's hope no one finds that because I think I gave it like 0 stars. I felt like I was being gaslit. Like, why does everyone like this book? And like you sent something to me recently, and I'm like, how do people fucking like this book? But here I am simping over Kingfisher, and so different strokes for different folks, I guess.
The last one, this is my absolute favorite. I'm blocking anyone who recommends this book. This was terrible, absolute dog shit. And I'm side eyeing the fuck out of y'all because why does this have a rating over 4 stars?
No, we are likely to get blocked. Sorry.
You know,
I don't care. I would read probably Human Trash if he was in it. Like it doesn't matter.
I was ovulating. Like, give me a break.
Right? We're doing our best.
We're doing our best. Like,
Although I do feel like the second book could have promise. My criticisms of the end of book 1 depends on how book 2 goes. We'll see. Maybe it'll hit the ground running and it'll be a banger, you know?
for real. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring up Fourth Wing and I don't care. I am afraid that there is a bit of the like Fourth Wing energy of like, was this supposed to be one book, but then you were really successful and now you're getting more books. And then that's just never a good place to start from.
You could kind of feel that the fantasy elements in it were a little bit more rough around the edges, I guess, but still better than a lot of other books that I've read from authors that have been putting out fantasy for a while. It could be a toss-up.
Yeah, and like I didn't really think it was trying to be anything that it wasn't. Like I felt like she leaned into what she felt like she knew. Like I saw some criticisms around like the magic system, like there not really being one. And I was like, fair. I don't think there really was actually. It was like you just took a Fey land and dropped a story into it, and there's a thing about Quicksilver. And the Quicksilver thing I thought was unique, but there isn't a magic system that we know of. So, but I'm okay with that. I'm like, I would rather you set the story that way than try to hodgepodge together a magic system that is when that's like not coming naturally.
Right. Like it doesn't have to be your strong suit. Like it sounds like she's leaning on like classic traditional elements of fantasy, like a vampire, a fae, like the bargains between fae and not being able, like those aren't new things. To your point, I'd rather her lean into things that exist already and like excel in other areas than like try and reinvent the wheel and fail at it. We've seen how that goes in books, and then it feels weird.
Feels weird. Yeah.
Do we want to get into some hopes, predictions?
Yeah.
Okay. So book 2, I think obviously we've seen Saris is a vampire fae now at this point. So I think we're going to see her like come into those powers a little bit more. But I also think because she's in this position of power, not everyone's going to be happy about that, and she might be perceived as a threat. So I imagine like maybe that being a part of the conflict that's going to happen. Because she killed Malcolm, she's the leader. So what's stopping anyone else from just killing her? So yeah, that's kind of like something I could see happening there. I also see her being super whiny about wanting to save her brother and like not going with Carrion and Kingfisher to find her brother. I also think, well, hope that Carrion gets a bigger part because I absolutely love him. And I know at the end, I think Kingfisher was going back to Zilvarin. I imagine he's going to have to like, I think he's going to be the one to retrieve her brother and Elton, hopefully. I don't know, but like who knows what's going to happen with the threat there? Like we don't know if Madra's alive. And then I guess the only other thing that I thought was interesting was the god at the very end. And like I wonder how that's going to come into play in the next book. Like it sounds like Saris and Kingfisher are on their own. But like what does that mean?
Yeah, it's like they're on their own, but like he was kind of nudging her in that direction anyway. And we don't really know what this whole like God blessed mates means either. They
Right.
haven't formalized the bond yet, have they?
I don't know. I had thought she did when she was like on her knees. Maybe he just did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought when she was like in that world with the god and the creepy twins, I thought he was more or less saying like this is your opportunity to like walk away if you want to, or you can go and you can save him. Then
Yeah.
it's kind of this unknown future kind of thing. But he's like one of how many gods? We don't know.
Yeah, I kind of got the sense actually now that you mentioned that like there isn't like a God blessed bond or something now that he's like broken the bond and that they're just together because they love each other kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay, so Brimstone predictions. Well, I think the deal with Brimstone is that there's another element she can wield. So I think that was kind of the thing at the end was like, well, as an alchemist, it's not only Quicksilver, there's Brimstone. And so how many of these like substances will she be able to like manipulate? I think the hint, like we were getting, it was the land of the vampires is full of brimstone. I think it's like that kind of like underworld kind of a substance. That's kind of my guess. So that might be tied to how she wins over these vampires is my assumption. She's going to try to win them over. They're going to try to use them to their advantage in some way. But I do hope that we get more of this like God backstory thing. I'm kind of torn. It's like I want more of it, but I don't want us to get like blown into a 5-book series kind of like expansion. I just want to be a clear A to B kind of situation with like there's a conflict with the gods. Here's the background that you've been missing, and like here's how you guys fit into it. I like the carry-on thing. I really like his whole. I know that was like kind of cheesy, but I also liked it because I'm like, give him a purpose. And then they did.
I really liked him. I thought he was sweet. And just like the whole time I wanted more from him. I would be great if he became, and like he can also defeat vampires and like has poisonous blood or whatever. So I'm curious how that's going to be used. I'm really hoping for the best because I loved the first book. I thought it was really good, but I have high hopes for the second book. Like she really kicked it off. I think the way that she like ended the last book, it's like there's a lot riding on that now. So
there is. And like full disclosure, I just think we need to choose our timing very well. Because we have Eldritch. I haven't read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and it's like feeling like a fall read for me. I need to get that in there. And we have Echo. I just feel like there's a couple bangers like queued up. We just need to make sure we insert it at the right time.
Strategically, yeah. Because I know Echo Fort's going to be a fucking banger.
I
cannot wait to read that one. Same as Eldritch. Like, that's going to be crazy.
It's going to consume my life. Eldritch? Yeah.
We need to do a spooky day with, like, a shit ton of candles and, like, blankets and, like, spooky music and, like, little drinks. And, oh my God, yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, that is a wrap on Quicksilver. And now it is our favorite part, our spinning wheel round to choose our next quick lit book pick. Special shout out goes to Sarah JM7089 for being the first to drop a book rec following our Heavenly Bodies episode.
Imagine if it's Sarah J. Maas.
Honestly.
Could you imagine?
She requested Shield of Sparrows, and I am fully backing this one. I already had that on my list, so we will just have to see where we land with that one. We also still have our last listener pick on the wheel, Phantasma. We're going to see what the spinning wheel gods have in store for us next.
I'm ready.
I love the spinning wheel.
I love the spinning wheel. It's so fun. Are we doing elimination round?
I think so.
There's just something so fun about that.
I have also noticed that literally everyone else on the planet has adopted the spinning wheel. And I know that it's like not like we inspired everyone, but like also why
No, but I think it's one of those like weird telekinesis things where people, or like telepathic things where people just like know it's happening somewhere and then other people start doing it. Because like not more popular book talkers than us using our freaking spinning wheel.
Like literally. And do you know what? They're using the OG one.
Oh, the ugly one?
I've seen the original with the original colors and I'm like, what? We've elevated, but okay. All right, are we ready? I'm scared.
Wait, what is a forbidden alchemist?
Oh, Karah. Okay, yeah, we should do a rundown on the wheel. Let's do a rundown. So the books that are on here from last time, we said Phantasma. Then we have Gothicana is one of Karah's picks. We have On Wings of Blood from last time, Briar Boleyn. Then we have Air Sabbath Tahir. That's one of a trilogy, I think.
I think so.
YA. Okay, so then the new picks are Shield of Sparrows, Devney Perry. We have Metal Slinger.
Yes, that's on my TBR.
And we have a Forbidden Alchemy. So Forbidden Alchemy is like a new release. It just came out in July and I've been seeing it like all over Bookstagram. So I felt like it's kind of like our rogue, kind of like lone wolf, but I just needed to throw it in because I do think that we're going to see a lot of stuff about it. Like Shield of Sparrows has been like everywhere, but I think this is like coming up hot as a new.
All right. All right. Watch us get it.
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised, but hey, wouldn't be the worst.
It wouldn't be the worst. I'm ready. I'm ready for it all.
I really feel so confident in this wheel. I just have to say.
Same. This is like, I feel like every single one of these will be a banger. So I'm excited.
Are we ready?
Let's do it. Let's pray to the gods.
Scared.
Phantasma again.
Sorry. Okay, let's go back in.
Let's do it. Dun, dun, dun. She's out.
She's out. Maybe next time, Air. What's it gonna be?
I think next out is Gothicana.
Makes me sad, actually.
That makes me pretty sad.
But I heard it ends on a cliffhanger.
I've heard really good things about this.
I have too. Man, Final Four. Okay, these are good. Like, I'm excited about
These
them.
are all good.
I'm nervous. I feel so nervous. I just thought we might get it.
On Wings of Blood is giving similar vibes.
Yeah, I still am feeling good about all these, but like, how ironic. No!
No way.
Honestly, I think we got friggin' swindled.
Yeah, whatever. These ones will be okay, I think.
Yeah, no, I think these are gonna be good. Okay, what do we got here?
No way.
Yeah. Forbidden Alchemy. That's the one.
Forbidden Alchemist.
Forbidden Alchemy.
There it is. I'm gonna look it up. Ooh, it looks beautiful.
They're like childhood friends, two of them, and then they get like separated and then shit hits the fan and they come back together and whatever. And like, I don't know, just sounded like the vibe sounded a little different and the dynamic sounded a little different. And
I'm here for it.
as much as I want to read all those other ones and I'm feeling behind on some of those other hyped ones, I feel like the fact that it just came out feels exciting, feels very quick lit, you know?
Yes.
That is it for this episode of Quicklit. Thank you for hanging with us. We hope you'll join us next time. And as always, we need your help. We never know what we're going to cover, and we love our little spinning wheel. So we want to hear from you. Hit us in the comments and tell us what hyped and irresistible, hot take worthy book we should dish about next. We are counting on you, so don't let us down. Send us your ideas in the comments or fantasyfemmefatales.pod@gmail.com. And until then, we're Fantasy Femme Fatales, and we are out.